Right. So, yeah. So y'all know who this is. This is Mo, and this is another study hall. IOP family. Right. So let's go ahead and get it started. Obviously, y'all know the first thing we always do. What do we always do? What do we do first?
News.
There you go. So let's go to the news and see what we got going on for today and tomorrow. Well, today is actually over with, you know, but we'll look at it still. Um, so I was already looking at it before we started. As far as today's concerned, everything is done. Everything happened in the morning, so it doesn't really matter what happened. So we can look at what happened, what's going to happen tomorrow. Obviously, tomorrow we have one red folder, it looks like, and a bunch of orange ones. I've got, obviously, you guys already know what the red ones are the ones that matter the most. Those are the ones that make the market move, right? So those are the ones that we got to pay attention to. All right. So let's go ahead and look at it and see. It looks like we got one, and it is for the Canadian dollar. So something going on in Canada. Shout out to all my Canadians. So what this is a change in inflation adjusted value of all goods and services produced by the economy. Sounds sounds like something important, you know. So again, like we always do, you can always get all the information on here and see how often this news comes out, and and then you can do a back testing just to kind of see what it kind of did to the to the market that day, and then kind of help you know what's going to happen tomorrow, help you basically be ready for whatever's going to happen tomorrow, right? So looks like the last time this news came out was September 30th. So we're gonna go ahead and just look at a pair that has a Canadian. We're gonna look at a pair that has a Canadian, currency on it, and it looks like I was already looking at one right now anyway. Um, I was in a trade of this one earlier, so that's why I have this up. So let's go back and look and see what was it, September 8th, right? September 30th. So let's go back to September 30th. It wasn't that long ago. So this is the day right here. And that news comes out at 8:30 in the morning. So let's go ahead and see what happened that day. So September 30th, this is 8 o'clock in the morning. So 8:30 candle right there. And it looked like the following candle left a long wick, So I mean, we can say that that has something to do with what happened there. But this is actually a 9 o'clock candle. So let's go back to the 30 minutes just to kind of have a better look at what happened. Um, so September 30th right there. And we're looking at 8 o'clock or 8:30, right? So this is 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8, 8:30, or 9. So I mean, if we go down to the 30-minute time frame, it doesn't look like it really did anything. It looked like we had a bearish candle. I mean, a bullish candle right in the middle of this, trend going down. So we can assume that that might have something to do with it, but we can't really confirm that. But just keep an eye on it. Just tomorrow when you're trading, just know around 8:30 when the news comes out. Don't just worry about when the news comes out. Just keep an eye on it for like an hour or two before and after, because when it comes to news, you always on block out an hour before, an hour after, because it can also affect it. Even if it doesn't always affect it exactly when the news comes out. Sometimes you might see some movement before the news comes out. You know, sometimes you might see it right after the news comes out. So just got to keep that in mind. All right. So this block right here, you just got to keep attention. You got to keep in mind of that tomorrow when you're looking at your charts as far as the Canadian dollar is concerned. Anything else doesn't really matter. All right. So again, you can always read, why traders care. Obviously, we're all traders, so you want to read that part and see, how it could affect your trading day or whatnot. And that's really it. That's the only thing we got tomorrow. So we don't have to worry about anything else. All these orange folders are not really, that much of importance. So we're not going to worry about that. We've already looked at the Canadian dollar, right? All right. So Now we're gonna go ahead and just mark it up. Just basic markups and whatnot. Obviously, we're already looking at the EuroCAD. So, anybody got any suggestions of what pairs you want to mark up? I already got this pulled up. So, which I got? Come on, don't be shy. Really? That's how I feel.
Let's do a SP 500 if you just don't want to do a euro. I mean a forex pair if you feel like doing the indices.
Let's do it. Why not? All right. So, let's look at this. So, obviously, first thing you want to do is you want to zoom it in. I like to go to the 1 hour. That's where I usually start. Everybody does it differently. Me personally, I start at the 1 hour and go down. Sometimes I might look at the 4 hour, the daily, just to kind of get the overall trend. But as far as me marking up, me personally, I start at the 1 hour. Not saying that that's the only way to do it. Not saying that that's the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it, but that's just the way how I do it, right? So I go down to the line chart, and obviously the first thing that I do is mark up where the price is at, right? I'm going to change that color. All right, and then now I just go ahead and look for support and resistance above and below the line, above and below where the price is at. So the closest support and resistance I see that my eyes are showing me is kind of right here. So I'm going to draw a line right there, right here, kind of right here, and a little bit right here, and even here, even though it went up a little bit, but it's, I mean, I'm not going to worry about that little, you know, what just happened. Okay, there you go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mark up another one above that. So the next one that I see above that is right here. Y'all agree with that? Or do y'all see another? Do y'all see another one that I didn't see that's in between these? Or am I seeing them all?
That's your support floor, correct?
Yeah.
You on it?
All right. So usually what I do is I do two up and two down, right? Um, Again, right below I see one right there. It's pretty close to where the price is at. Now the reason why I do it this way is because again I'm a scalper. I don't usually like to hold trades for more than hours or whatnot, like for like a day or two swinging or anything like that. I just scalp. I just go in, get out, get in, get out. So that's why my trend lines might look like they're close or whatnot, but if I go down to the lower time frame, it's not gonna look as close as it looks right now, right? So now we got one on the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw another one below it, right? So the next one I see is right here. It's playing as a support and resistance. So right here is a support, right here is resistance, resistance, support, kind of right here too, right? And that's where I usually stop. I don't like to have a bunch of lines on my chart. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of other support and resistance lines above, below, but I'm not worried about all of that because again, I'm only in there for a short period of time. So for the price to go all the way up to here, I'm probably not going to catch that whole move. So I'm not really going to worry about it, right? All right. So the next thing I do after drawing my lines is to determine the trend. All right. So I don't know what trend is going. Can somebody help me? Which way is it going? Up or down? Or is it consolidating? What is it doing? I need some
It
help.
gave us a downtrend and now is basically just consolidating left to right. It's really not give us nothing. I guess if you zoom in a little bit, we might could see what it gave us.
Okay. You want me to stay at the 1 hour, or you want me to go down to a lower time frame?
Lower time frame.
All right. So what do you suggest? 30, 15, 5, 1, whatever.
30. We go
30.
one at a time, right?
There you go. All right, so one at a time. All right, so right there, I do see it. I do see that it's going in a down, downtrend because we got lower lows and lower highs, low low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So it's definitely going down, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and draw my trend line. All right. So, I mean, again, like I said, like I always say, as far as the trend lines are concerned, you might hear different things. People might say, hey, you have to have it perfectly aligned or whatnot. Me personally, the way I do it is, you know, I just make sure that I can see that it's a downtrend, even if it's not super accurate to where the points are. Because right now we probably have a wick right here. We're not going to be able to see it because we're in a line chart. So there might be a wick that's touching that trend line right there. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's inaccurate just because it doesn't look like it's touching it. I don't worry too much about it, right? Again, I'm not saying that that's the right way or the wrong way. That's just the way that I do it, right? So I see a line right there, and I want to go ahead and draw a channel actually because that just makes it a lot more clearer, right? Okay, we can look at the 1 hour. We can look at the 4 hour and the daily. All right, so we can go ahead and do that. But right here, this is my channel. Y'all, do y'all kind of agree with that? You know, this one right here.
Looking saucy.
Yeah, yeah. You said what?
Yeah.
Looking saucy.
Alrighty, alrighty.
Why the 30 minute?
Ask Stacy. Stacy told me to go to the 30 minute. Ask
Well, we
her.
went from the 1 hour and we did our TD analysis by making our support floor. And
Mm-hmm.
then we just go to the next time frame. And then we're going to go to the 15-minute time frame. It's just going steps in order.
Yep.
So is it that you do those lower time frame for the indices or all your peers?
You
Well,
asking
this
me?
is
Oh.
something that I actually studied, the SP 500, because it
Oh, okay.
moves. Each candle is totally different when it comes to a forex pair and indice pairs. Indice
Mm-hmm.
pairs move a little faster
Yeah.
and they have more volume in each candle versus a forex pair, which is any type of country pair.
Yeah.
So they move a little slower. So me, I haven't found one that I am comfortable with, that I can be profitable with, but I have been profitable with SP 500. That's why it's just so many for us to just decide which one to actually pick for each for whatever side we try to do. Whether we're a day trader, like he said, he's a scalper trader. We just have to decide what we're comfortable with, each of us.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So, Stacy, this is your baby, by the way. All right. You saying you can't figure out what pair? This is yours. All right. You say you've been
This is
profitable.
definitely my baby. It
All
start
right.
with my name, so I'm pimping it.
Hey, there you go. See, see that right there? It was that easy, right? It was that easy. See, we solved the mystery right now. Look at that. I'm proud of us. But yeah, so I do see a trend. You know, obviously we've already drawn the trend line. We see that it's going down. And then I'm gonna go back to my candlesticks, and I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in a little bit just to kind of have a better visual, right? And you know, it looks like it's kind of respected all throughout, except for this wick right here. You know, everything else looks pretty solid, right? Y'all kind of agree with that?
And nice support floor. So you actually gave us like one, two, three, four, five. That
Hmm.
was new to me. So that's very interesting. I'm gonna add that to my
Yeah,
markup.
because yeah, the reason why I got that is because I always draw what the price is at. Obviously, price moved up a little bit since we started, marking it up, but I always draw the line because like 9 times out of 10, it doesn't matter what time you get on the market where the price is at. It's usually a support and resistance line. I don't know how to explain it, but that's just something that I've noticed. So I always draw what the price is at, and if you can see, if you look, this is what we drew for the price, right? Right here, it
Exactly.
kind of reacted here, and then
Each
here,
line,
see,
respecting it,
it
pulling back
respected
at each
all
line.
that.
That's what pullback mean, you guys. It
Yeah,
get to your line and it pull back in the next direction or do a reversal. So it's either reversal or
exactly,
pullback for its trading terms.
exactly. Yep. So obviously, in the 30 minute, there's not like really a whole lot that I see here that I need to add to the chart. Obviously, we did our support and resistance line and our trend lines and whatnot. We've already determined all that, right? So. what I usually do is I go down to the 5 minute, sometimes even the 1 minute to to find my entry point. All right. So let's just go down to the 5 minute just to kind of see what we can see there, right? All right. So right there, I already see that it broke that it broke that line that we just drew and it retested it. So I don't know how many pips that is to the next support line. It's literally that simple, y'all. You know what I mean? Like 532 pips. I don't know how the SPX 500 pip count goes, but 530 sounds like a lot to me. I don't know. Is 530 a lot?
It's fire like Cayenne.
Well, there you go. So here personally, just by not looking at anything else, any other confluences, I would be comfortable with looking at that, right? I would be
To think
comfortable with.
about and on a little small nugget for you guys, you know, if you me, I do SP 500 because depending on the dollar, it moves in the opposite direction of the dollar. Sometimes you might see it manipulating the market by going the same way as the dollar index. But
Yeah,
SP 500 and US 30 it's like the grandfather of it because it only gives you a smaller spread versus the high spread that US 30 have. So that's what got me into SP 500 based on a good spread. You could use a good lot size and get a good profit, and you don't have to do the speed of US 30.
yep. It's it's a lot less stressful than dealing with US 30. And according to Damo said that it's the same calculation as US 30. So on a 0.01, that would be $532 if I'm correct. Am I correct? Am I not? Josiah?
Exactly.
So so let me ask you, does that kind of follow SP US 30?
I mean, it doesn't follow the US 30, but it's pretty similar. Like, let's go up to the higher time frame just to kind of see a better visual there, right? So
It would definitely give you a similar note if you just pay attention to how US 30 move. It's just US 30, think of the spread. US 30 pairs, for example,
yeah,
if you're looking on your phone or if you have a Hugo's Way terminal, because TradingView don't actually give you the spread amount. But if you're looking at it on your phone where you should be entering in your trades on your phone through your MT4, right at your quote screen that shows all your pairs, within that, it actually tells you the spread. So the spread is what, as soon as you enter a trade, that's just what your account go jump to the negative end. So the spread for US 30 is always somewhere between 150 to almost 250 or so. But the SP 500 spread always is under 150, but it gives you the same volume. And what I mean by volume, depending on your lot size, you can make you some nice money with it.
exactly. Exactly. And obviously, like you see, all these indices, they kind of move the same. This is Nas 100, um, US 30. I mean, it's kind of like it went up, went back down. It's a little bit not, the same, but look at JET 30. So JET 30 and US 30, they kind of are the same. Um, SPX 500, it's not to the T, but it's, overall, it looks like it's moving the same direction. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say rely on that, but just keep that in the back of your head, right?
Keep it on your forehead, especially if your forehead not big. My bad.
Yeah, I can't, I know I got a big forehead, so I'm not even gonna comment on that one. I got a 5 head, so I wonder why I got this bonnet on. But we're not gonna talk about that. But anyway. So like I said, when you go back to the lower time frame, it looked like it retested that support line. I mean, this is like the basics. You break and retest, and then you go up to the next, support line. So you know what I mean? I'm not saying just because you see that, go ahead and do it. You got to find your own confluences, whether it's EMAs or other indicators or the 20 pip and dip or whatever. But just right off top, I'm looking for, as far as me scalping, even though we're going down in the downtrend, I'm looking for maybe a buy to the next support line. So I'm going to be looking for other confluences. Again, like I said, whether it's other EMAs, other indicators, or whatever, to help you make that decision, whether you're going to be going for a buy to the next support line or you're going to be going for a sell, right? So there's a lot of there's a lot of directions that you can go with it. But this is basically the basics. Just draw your support and resistance line, determine your trend, because you always want to trade with the trend, right? But again, if you're scalping, you can always. I mean, I'm not. I'm not saying that you go ahead and counter the trend, but if you're scalping, it's kind of like it's okay to do that, right? Because you're only in and out, so it doesn't really matter which way the trend is going. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at another pair. I see a lot of GJs on here. I don't like GJ. I had a bad experience with her a couple of days ago. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. Where's GJ at? So GJ, y'all see that back experience I'm talking about? I ain't even take it off my chart yet. Let me go ahead and take that off real quick. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete everything out, and I'm gonna go up to the 1 hour. Actually, I'm gonna try the 2 hour. I've never really started at the 2 hour. I'm gonna do that today, just to see where it's gonna take me. All right.
Mo, are you more of a scalper or are you more of a swing intraday trader?
I'm more of a scalper. I'm in and out, in and out. You know, I don't like to hold trades for over a day. Basically, a day is just too long for me to hold a trade. You know what I mean?
I do. I just, based on everything that as I'm hanging out, trying to learn with you guys, I'm seeing, and just for me, it just seems like it's almost more beneficial to hold the trade a little bit longer.
It is. I mean,
Because
then again, yeah. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
no problem. Because I tend to lose more as I'm scalping versus holding the trade. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, there's not like obviously there's not a right or wrong way to do it. It's just your preference. Whatever works for you. For me, it was the total opposite. I was more profitable doing the scalping thing than holding trades for a longer period of time. I try to do like be a day trader or whatnot, like hold trades for like a day, maybe a day and a half, 2 days or whatnot. But that never worked for me. But ever since I started scalping, it's been working out great, because I'm in and out of the market. Yeah, you're gonna spend more time, watching the market and then being in front of the computer, and you're not gonna catch as many pips as you would if you were holding it for long, for a longer period of time. But it accumulates. Like for instance, one thing that I like about scalping is like when you look at a consolidation, right? If you do your homework, like you have a strategy that works, you can literally catch it going up, going down, going up, going down, going up, going down. You know what I mean? But if you're day trading, you hold it, it goes up, and then it goes down. You're in the negative. You get what I'm saying? Because you're waiting for it for a longer move. I'm not saying that you would be getting on the trade for a buy on here, but I'm just giving you an example. Right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and
Yeah.
and honestly, I feel like scalping would best fit me, but man, I swear, when I feel like when I'm getting in and I'm getting out, I just be like losing money.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. And then again, that's all part of it. So you just gotta, find out one strategy that works. There's obviously there's like a gazillion of strategies, right? There's so many strategies out there. The best way that I can tell you is to find out one strategy that works for you and just stick to it. You know what I mean? Try it on a demo, back test it, whatever, until you master it, and then you can implement it on your live account. But there's a lot of scalping strategies that work to a T. You know, you just gotta look for them. You know what I mean? You just gotta look for them, right?
My weaknesses was you guys just to say you can't get fascinated with how quick you can make money, and
Hmm.
when they do a reversal, it wipes your account out. So the 20 pips and dip, the dip is very important. Dip. When you get
Yes.
that profit, dip.
I'm telling you, don't stay
So
there,
don't
man.
just sit there trying to hold a trade as a newbie, because the blessing is increasing your account, not losing. Don't feed the brokers, you guys.
Yeah,
Dip,
they
baby,
got
dip.
enough. They got
Remember that?
enough. Right, they got enough. So that's very important too, because like if your TP is 20 pips and it hits your TP, or like you see it's getting close to your TP, I know it might look enticing. You say, hey, this looks like it might keep going up. Let me move my TP real quick. Let me go ahead and move it up 10 pips or whatnot. And then what it's gonna do is gonna go up, and then boom, and you lose all your money. You know.
Maybe that's what my problem is right
Yeah.
there.
See, don't do that. Don't do that.
That
See.
was
I be
mine, my
moving
brother.
at
I lost
TP
so
as
much
it be
money,
moving.
but I'm ready to dip now. Dip, you guys, because once you start seeing the zeros, you're going to build up your team.
Exactly. That's the thing. We just have a plan and follow it, man. Just don't try to like overcloud your judgment or anything like that, man. If you have a strategy, you've back tested it and you know that it works. Just trust it. If you're saying, hey, I'm getting this trade and I'm only going for 20 pips, and you see it getting up to 20, 19 pips, and it's about to hit your 20 pip, and then you move it up, whatever happens, that's on you because you didn't follow your plan, right? You didn't follow what you said you were going to do. So just for that simple fact, there's just that simple reason. If you lose your money, you ain't got nobody to blame because you didn't do what you said you were going to do, right? So, and that's with anything. That's with anything. If you have a plan, just follow it because if you deviate from that, you can't be mad at the result, you know? And trust me, I've
Yeah,
done that, Eric. I've done that plenty of times, man. I'm saying, like, the reason why I'm saying it to you is because I've done it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I still do it to this day, every so often. You know.
you, what I'm running into lately,
Mhm.
and I guess where my struggle is like I'm looking at how I feel like the market is gonna go. I'm looking at the patterns and everything, and as soon as that market starts going in that direction,
Mhm.
I'm I guess I'm moving my stop loss too soon, because as soon as I hit blue, I'm moving that thing to
E.
I got 5 cents. I'm good, and then it goes up a little bit, but then I get kicked out all the
Yeah.
time. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the
So,
thing, cause like you gotta give it room to breathe, right? You gotta give it room to breathe. That's why you have that stop loss there. You know, like me personally, as far as my stop loss goes, like the only time that I would move it, like let's say I'm going for 20 pips, right? And I'm already in like 20. I'm already in like 10, 11, 12 pips in profit, right? And it's just sitting there. Then I will be comfortable moving my stop loss into my profit, right? Because I mean you don't want to you don't want to turn a winning trade into a losing trade, right? But as soon as it goes into blue, you don't want to move it to move your stop loss up because you got to give it room to breathe. That's what it's there for. Again, that always goes back to follow your plan. You have a stop loss for a reason. You have a TP for a reason. You put your stop loss in and you put your TP in. You're saying that, hey, I'm okay with with this price hitting my stop loss, and I'm okay with it hitting my TP, and that's it. You just gotta put that in your head. Like, okay, I put my stop loss up on my TP in. I don't like whatever happens, happens. I'm okay with losing this much, and I'm okay with winning this much. If you're not okay with that, then you make some adjustments, move your TP or whatever. Do what you got to do. But if you're not comfortable with your TP and your stop loss before you hit that buy or sell, then don't get in that trade because one of those two things is going to happen. It's either going to hit your stop loss or your TP, or if you just get out of the trade whenever. But when you're putting in a trade, make sure that you're okay with that TP and that stop loss, and that just simplifies everything. It just takes all that stress out because if you're not comfortable with either one, you're gonna be stressing. You're gonna be constantly looking at your trades, and then you're gonna say, "Oh, if it does this, I'm gonna do that." You don't want to do that. You don't want to play those games. That you just added more stress to yourself than you don't need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I got any other questions? I see India asked about a strategy, easier strategies for scalping. I mean, there's, like I said, there's a lot of strategies. There's plenty of them. I personally use a couple of them. Sometimes I integrate them. I use them together. Sometimes I use them separately. I actually wanted to go over one of my strategies. I kind of did go over it, a couple times before, but I had a lot of people asking me about it, so I wanted to cover it a little bit here today before Damo hops on. So I'm gonna mark this one up, and then I'm gonna show you guys that strategy that I'm talking about. All right. Let me look at the chat real quick and see if there's any other questions. Um, if y'all got any questions, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and just ask me, yo. All right, I don't see anything on there. So let's go ahead and mark this one up. So again, go back to the line chart, right? And first thing I do, again, where the price is at, right? And then I'm gonna mark up 2 lines up, 2 lines down. So the closest one I see right now is obviously this one right here, but it's super close to the line. I'm not even gonna worry about it. So I'm gonna go up to the next one. The next one I see is right here. It's a resistance line. It looks like it played as a support also, and mostly a support, but I'm still gonna draw it anyway. And then the one after that.
Mo?
Yes.
You usually do 2 hour? Oops, sorry.
No, I don't. I don't. I do 1 hour, but I decided to do 2 hours today, just just to see, But I use my 2 hours for another strategy that I use. The 2 hours seems to be working best for me. It makes me see what I'm actually looking for. But that's why I have it as one of my favorites. But when I'm marking up, I usually don't use the 2 hour, but I just decided to use it today just to see, right?
Yeah. Mo?
Yes.
Do you think you could stretch it out just a little bit so I could see the stretch? Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Is this good?
Yes.
All righty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Was that Trish?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, because I don't. It's not your name on there. That's why I was like, hold on. This sounds like Trish, but it doesn't say.
Oh, it's because I'm under TC. I got you.
Just making sure. Just making sure.
Of course. Thank you.
No problem. But yeah, it looks like I got my 2 lines above here. This is support and resistance line. Now I'm gonna go back to the bottom. This one right here. All right. And then I'm gonna find my next one. All right, I kind of like this one here, even though there's another one above it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move it above. There you go. All right. Again, I'm having issues, finding my trends and whatnot. Can anybody tell me what trend are we doing right now? Is it up? Is it down? I can't tell, y'all. I need some help. Can anybody help me?
Down.
Down. All right. So you want me to go to a lower time frame to kind of see it better, or? So you're saying down, right?
I mean, that's the overall trend of that pair is down. Cause
yeah.
The higher time frames trump it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So overall it's down. I mean, we can go to a lower time frame, but then it may switch. It may look like it's going up.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. I agree that it is going down. So I'm gonna go ahead and join my trend line right here. Again, trend line might not look perfect, or it may not look like how you want it to look, but that's how I do it, right? This is the closest I could do, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do my channel. So I mean, this is pretty simple stuff. You know what I mean? It's literally that easy. You draw your lines, find your trend, and then go, put your candlesticks back in, right? And then just zoom it in, go down to a low time frame. I'm gonna go down to the 15 minute. I'm gonna skip the 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go down to the 15 minute, right? And just like how we saw, right? Just like how we saw with the SPX 500, right? It looked like it broke it and retested it. So here, I probably would have been looking for a buy, and I would have been, losing, or I would have been in the drawdown if that's the only thing that I looked at. And again, that all goes back to having other confluences. Don't just see us, don't just see it breaking and a retest, and you're like, oh, let me jump on that buy, man. I'm about to make all this money. Nah, you're not about to make all this money. You're about to give all this money because you didn't look at anything. You didn't look at everything else, right? So again, this is where it starts. You're looking for a retest. That's your confirmation number one, and you look at other confirmations. Again, EMAs, other indicators, whatever, news. It doesn't matter. And that's how you can find your entry, your perfect entry, even if it's the 20 pip and dip. I don't even have it on here. Let me see. Let me go ahead and put up 20 pip and dip just to kind of see what it would do, right? Just see what it would show me. Let me go ahead and zoom it in. All right, so like I said, I'm looking for a buy, right? But it's telling me that it's a sell, right? So this is the last support. This is the last support, and this is the last resistance. So this is, and then you see the 50 EMA. You're literally above the EMA, above the 50 EMA. So technically, you shouldn't be looking for buys. You should be looking for sells, but I don't like to take sells when it's this close to the 50 EMA. I like it, I like to have a little bit of breathing room before I can decide to go down or up. All right. But again, this is just another indicator that you can use to help you determine which way you can go. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. Hey. Thank you. Bye. Sorry about that. All right. So again, like I said, you got to find your confluences. You got to find your other, other little things that you use to help you determine which way you're gonna go. Obviously, the market only goes two ways, up and down. I mean, yeah, it can go sideways, but you're buying and you're selling, so up or down. All right.
So what would be your entry for this here?
So right now, I wouldn't get in. I wouldn't even have no entry at this point because the way that it looks, I don't see anything that shows me that I should enter this particular pair right now. I mean, if I'm doing, why did I do that? Sorry. If I'm doing like a long-term trade, like if I'm swinging or like doing intraday or whatnot, obviously my bias will be to sell because that's the overall trend, right? But again, I'm scalping, so I can either sell or buy. But right now, just based on looking at it, I don't see I don't see anything that would tell me, hey, buy or sell. Because either way, like I said, for instance, with the 20 pip and dip like I just showed, it's telling me to sell. It's telling me to sell, right? But it's above this support line. So if I'm gonna sell, the least thing I want to do is I want to see it break that support line, retest it, and then jump on that sell, right? I wouldn't want to jump on it right now just because it told me to sell it. Let me go down to a lower time frame. So still kind of the same, right? We go to the 1 minute and see if it's going to tell. So you see with the 1 minute, it's telling me to buy, right? It's telling me to buy, right? So it's not enough for me to make a decision as far as this pair is concerned at this point, right? Because it's still just sitting at that support line, and it's not giving me enough to kind of make a decision. So this is when you sit on your hands and just wait on the market to do whatever it does, and then you react to it. As you can see, it just broke it, right? So I'm going to wait on the retest, and then maybe I'll make a decision and sell at that point. Does that make sense?
Sure does.
All righty. Good, good. Anybody else got any questions?
So when you're doing this, you normally looking at the 15 minutes or not?
I do. I look at the 15 minutes. I usually do my entries at the 5 and the 1 minute. That's why I got the 1 minute on there. A lot of people don't like to use the 1 minute because it seems like it's too much information, but I love it.
I love it. I'm on it all the time.
Yeah, me too. I'm on the the 1 minute is my thing. Hey, that's my time frame, man. Every time I enter a trade.
I'm sorry. I feel like I watch it too much. That's why I'm asking.
Nah, y'all watch it too much too, so we're on the same boat, man.
The
I thought I seen you before.
I was gonna say the shorter time frame is best for scalpers.
Yep. So 5 minutes on 1 minute.
I
So
have
yeah.
a quick question because
What's up?
in my training class on yesterday, um you guys got to basically make sure when you're using TradingView because they have multiple examples of a chart. For instance, like they have the SPX 500, they have the XPST VC1, they have the XPS for Uganda, which is a broker. They have different type of SPX and they move differently. And what would you recommend, Mo, for us when you actually have a pair and you entering it on um your trading view? How they have different ones? Would it be the United States one you go at, the British one you go at? Which one would you recommend?
So me personally, I go with the like obviously. So for instance, right here with the like let's just give an example: GBP USD. All right. Obviously, you got a bunch of them. They're all pretty similar. They might show you a little bit different. The prices might be a little bit different and whatnot. Me personally, I use the Wanda one. Every time I see one that has a Wanda in it, that's the one I use. Right. So what was the one that you were talking about, Ken? Let's just look it up and see. What is it called?
Well, we was looking at the US 30 because US 30 had different versions of it.
Okay.
You
So
know, one has a TVC on it, Trading View.
yeah,
I guess concept was to see.
yeah.
I guess when you go to indices, because
Mhm.
you went to all, if you go to index, I meant to say, using that one,
It only shows
yeah,
me
they
this
have
one.
the Dow 30, I mean the Dow Jones 30, then it's actually US 30. It's just giving you different ones for some people, some
Yeah,
of the newbies who might just see it moving different on different platforms,
because they're on the wrong pair. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Damo might be able to answer this question. Is there any
Oh, my
difference?
bad. I
No, you
threw that
good.
one, my bad. I
No,
just
no, you
was
good.
paying attention to it, showing it in the class, and I was like, you just got to make sure you guys on what pairs you're
Yeah,
using your trading view for, because trading view it has so much sauce on it. You can
it
have the
does.
news on it, you got the market watch on it, you got your charts on it, you got your tools you're going to use. It just have everything on it, you guys. So
You can even trade on it, right
yes,
there.
so you gotta be mindful of what pair you're actually marking up,
Yeah,
chart you're marking up. Is it an accurate chart?
exactly, exactly. So, and then you gotta follow whatever the broker says, because some brokers might say, like for instance, with JER 30, it might say JER 30, and some might say DE 30. So you just gotta be mindful of that, you know. But as far as me, like you can look up DE 30, and then it's gonna give you the same chart. But I like the JER 30 one, um, because that's the one that Damo uses. So I was like, I'm gonna use it too.
And
But
you say the Uganda, so make
Owanda, yeah,
sure y'all get
yeah, I
a
use the Owanda.
valid one.
Yeah, me
Uganda,
personally, I use the Owanda one. The Owanda is the one that I usually go with. All
cool.
right. But yeah, so as far as that's concerned, the GU obviously long term it's a sell. So I'm gonna be a little bit biased. I am not gonna be looking for any. I mean, even though I might be scalping. So let's say if I jump on the sell right or jump on the buy right here, that's 23 pips, 22 pips. That's enough right there for me for me to get in and out. But I always have to think about the overall trend, right? So GP is selling, and like I said, that's what happened a couple of days ago. Y'all saw what happened. I thought it was gonna be buying. I jumped on the buy, but it went down quick. It hit my stop loss within like an hour. So I wasn't happy about that. But yeah. But anyway, that's what it is. So overall trend down, but if you're scalping, you could be up and down. It doesn't matter. So just find your strategy. Just follow your strategy, follow your plan, and do what you got to do. Don't try to do too many things at once. Right? That's always a key thing. You might see someone have a strategy and a brand new strategy, and you're like, "Yo, that works. Let me go ahead and do that." And you already had one that it might have been working, but you just dished it out because you saw somebody else have something that works. Don't do that. You know, Try your strategy until you actually know that it doesn't work before you jump into another strategy, right? So I don't have that many minutes left, so let me go ahead and just show y'all the strategy that I do. Like I said, I had a lot of people ask me to kind of go over it, just to kind of have a better understanding of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and change my chart. I'm gonna go down to this one. All right, so and this strategy in particular, it only works for GU. Most of y'all know that I trade GU on a daily. That's my pair. That's the one that I'm married to, basically, right? So GU. So as I can see all this right here. So what I usually do with GU is, let me go ahead and delete everything on here. All right, so I use the indicator that's called Patty. So if you go to the indicators, all you gotta do is just type in PATI, right? And then it's gonna be this one. It's gonna be the one by Vixlated or whatever, right? And then when you put that indicator in, it's not gonna look exactly like this. It's gonna be a little bit different. So you can go to the settings. So the only thing I care about is the Asian session, right? So I'll keep the Asian session in there. And then you got to make sure that you change the times from 1700 to 2. So from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. And I take these out because I don't really care about them, right? So basically what I do is I go down to the 1 minute again, right? And this is actually from last night. Y'all see we won that trade. So basically what I do is I look at obviously the box is from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. So you look at the 201 candlestick and look at what it does. So 201 candlestick was a bullish. So it went up and it went down and it went up again and went down. So that's technically an M. And man, I look pretty, but it's an M. It went up, it went down, it went up, and went down. That's an M. And then as soon as I can confirm that it's an M, that's when I jump on that sell. And I risk 10 pips and I go for 20 pips. And obviously you can see I could have rode it for even more pips. I could have rode it for 35 pips, right? I could have rode it for 35 pips. All right, so that's 2 hours and 12 minutes. I would have got 35 pips. But again,
Mo, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure, what's up?
So, okay, so it's not the 201 that, when do you say you confirm it? So you look at the 201, but that's not the one that you go in on.
No, yeah, that's not what I go in on. I wait until I get a confirmation. Obviously, you can be aggressive with it, and then it's because obviously, if the 201 gives you a bullish candle, then you automatically know that it's going to be an M. There's no way it's going to give you a W if it started going up, right? Okay. So technically, if you want to be aggressive with it, you can enter as soon as you see it going up, right? As soon as you can see it closing as a bullish, then you know it's going to be an M. So you can go ahead and just jump on the trade right away. Me personally, I'll wait to see until I'll wait and see until I get that confirmation, because sometimes what's going to happen is you're going to see a bullish candle, right? And then you're going to see a bearish, another bearish, another bearish, another bearish, and then another bullish, and then it just goes up, right? Or like you might have it, so you might have it going like this. So let me show you. You might have it like you see it went up and it goes down, and then the next green, you might have like 3 or 4 greens, and it just continues to go up, and then it goes down, and then it just continues to go down. So if you would have gotten on, if I can do this, what's happening, yo? All right, there you go. So if you would have got, bro, what's going on? Man, I'm struggling here. There you go. All right, so if you would have gotten on that, sell right away, you would have lost, because you got those candlesticks, you got those green candlesticks that would have hit your TP. I mean, it would hit your stop loss, right? So you want to wait until you actually can confirm that it's an M. Because like I said, sometimes you might have that third leg to be a long one, and if you would have jumped in right away, it would have hit your stop loss for no reason. That's why I always want to wait until I get a confirmation whether it's an M or a W. If it's a W, I get on the buy. If it's an M, I get on the sell. Right?
Okay.
So this was from last night. Well, today, this morning, basically. And obviously, we won that trade. All right? So let's go back to the day before. And what do you see? So you see it going down, and it went up, went down, and it went up again, right? So that tells me that it's going to be a buy, right? Actually, hold on. Yeah, this is on. Yeah, so this tells me it's a buy, right? So I'm sure y'all can tell me if this one this one won or not. All right, so 20 pips, 10 pips here. All right, so that one, it obviously lost, right? That one lost, but overall, you're gonna have more wins than losses, right? So same here. I still got it on my chart because every time I do a trade, I have it on my chart. And as you can see right here, we had an M, up, down, up, down. We hopped on the sell, and it didn't even get close to our TP. I mean, stop loss. It went up five pips and it went back down, right? So it's literally that simple. You don't need no more you don't need any other indicators, no support and resistance, none of that, right? Right here, it went up, went down, went up, and as soon as I can confirm that it's an M, that little doji, that little red candlestick right there, as soon as it closed, I jumped on the sell. And with this trade in particular, we didn't even go through a drawdown. It literally, we was in profit the whole time. The whole way we was in profit. So this trade took about an hour and 1 minute to hit TP, right? So it's that simple. And as you can see, for the most part, it wins. Here, it went down, went up, went down, and it went up. And as soon as I can confirm that it's a W, I hopped on that buy. And again, this is another one that we didn't even go through a drawdown. And if you would have held it for a longer period of time, you would have even gotten more than the 20 pips that you was going for. Again, like I said, don't do like me and Eric now. Don't just wait until it gets 20 and then move it up, you know? Just secure that 20 and then move it up, right? So you would have gotten about 60 pips right there, easily. You would have gotten 60 pips on that one trade alone with no drawdown, literally no drawdown. As soon as you can confirm that it's an M or it's a W, it's right there. So again, Nadine, like let's say if you would have entered right here, after you confirm that it's going to be a W, you would have gone through a little bit of drawdown, right? And then your TP, the highest you would have gotten would have been 55 pips. But since you waited until you can confirm that it's a W, that's an extra 5 pips right there that that you would catch because you just waited for that confirmation. So just to put another spin on the answer that I gave you. All right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, man.
All right. Anybody got any other questions?
I have a question more.
What's up?
So,
What's up, Irene?
I'm trying to learn. After the Asia session finish, you have to wait to see those M and W before entering the trade.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So so Carol, you said zoom in the first 10 minutes after 2 a.m. I can't see. All right. So here. There you go. All right. So this is the 2 a.m. This is 2 a.m. Right? Well, actually, this is the 2 a.m. candle, even though it's a little bit off. Whatever. Don't worry about it. Just make sure you confirm it down here. Right? You don't want to get in the wrong trade because it showed you that it's 2 o'clock, but it's 2:01. So this is not 2:01. This right here is 2:01. Right? So 2:01. It went down, went up, went down, and it went up. Literally, after that candlestick closes, you're more than welcome to jump on that buy because it already showed you that it's a W. It's an ugly W, but it's still a W, right? It's still a W. Down, up, and then just jump on that buy.
So Mo,
Bruh,
which
is
candle are you
that
saying is
simple?
your confirmation?
Say what now?
Which candle are you saying is your confirmation to
So
or what?
So the last one, so the one that confirms that it's either a W or it's an M, right? So you're gonna, so basically, so this kind of stick right here, it's a bearish candlestick, even though it's kind of like a doji, it's still.
What time is it?
So this one was at 208. So it doesn't have to
Okay.
necessarily be 4 candles. It can be it could be, it could be 10 candles. But as soon as you can confirm that there's an M or there's a W, that's when you jump on that trade, right? So obviously right here we had a hmm?
It usually happens by 2:00 what?
um
Approximately.
I mean usually I would say between 205 until 2010. I mean 2010. I didn't catch that. So
No, I didn't.
205.
So
Out
so
and clear.
so technically by 201, you really know what you're looking for.
Yeah, by 201 you already know what you're looking for. You just waiting on that confirmation.
Because if it goes up, you know
Yeah,
you look for an M. If it goes
exactly.
down, you looking for the W.
There you go. Exactly. But like I was telling Nadine, you don't want to just jump the gun and then jump on it because you already know it's going to be an M. You want to wait until it confirms because it can be an M that's just one of those M's that just goes up and then goes down and goes up. You know what I mean? So you want to wait until you confirm that, hey, this is an M. I'm going to jump on it. Right? It's literally that simple.
I'm gonna try it tomorrow, not tonight. I'm gonna try it
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, no, try it. Try it. That's what I'm saying. This is not a strategy that I found on YouTube or like somebody taught me. This is just something that I figured out on my own because, like I said, one day I won a trade around 2 a.m. and then the next day I won it again. So I went back and looked. I'm like, okay, there's something going on with this 2 o'clock thing. Let me figure this out. So I just did my back testing, and then after more back testing, I back tested for about 2 weeks, and then I finally realized that after 2 o'clock, I see an M forming, and it goes down, and if I see a W, it goes up. So I decided to block out the Asian session, and then at 201, that's when I'm start looking at it, and it's it's been working like a charm, man. I you know what I mean? I don't even know what to tell you. Like, and then for me, what I usually do, I'm not saying do that, but like, it's gonna give you 20 pips. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna give you 20 pips. What I usually do is I might have 2 or 3 entries, right? If like let's say I got 3 entries in, that means that I get 60 pips on a 20 pip move. I'm done for the day. If my target is to get 60 pips a day, I'm done with literally one trade. I go back to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't wake up till the next day. You know, so just because it only gives you 20 pips, don't overlook it. Don't say that's not enough pips. But if it gets to a point where like this has been working out. This is good. This is a strategy that works. It's simple. You don't have to do a whole lot. All you got to do is just look for an M or W. You get to a point where you're comfortable enough to go ahead and put 2 or 3 entries in at the same time, and it goes 20 pips, but you get 40 or 60 pips. You can't beat that.
Hey, that's it, y'all.
Can't
Once
beat
you
that.
study a pair, get you, and you see it's going in an uptrend or a downtrend, put your 1 or 2 entries in when it's a solid trend and get that bag. That's the key, y'all. Build these
Exactly.
accounts up.
Exactly. Anybody got any questions? Nah. So y'all got it. So y'all about to try this strategy at 2 o'clock in the morning? Who gonna try this? Give me a one if you're gonna try this at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm gonna give it a whirl, bro.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah, you know I'm gonna be there.
hey, give me a one on the chat. Give me a one on the chat. Let me see. Let me see a one on the chat, yo. There you go. See, it's simple. It's not that hard. All you got to do
Get
is
them
look
all.
for an M or a W. That's all the
I
sauce you
set
need
my
today.
alarm for 4 o'clock every morning, and I was reading a book when I first started Forex the beginning of the year on how to become a millionaire before 7 a.m.
Mm,
Y'all don't know how that market move overnight while we sleeping. That's
telling
why
you.
people say you're making money while you sleep. Y'all got to get a pattern of just get out of your comfort zone for each session and see
Yep,
how the market move, and then see which one gonna get you a bag, and then get
absolutely.
it on it and get it done, y'all.
Exactly. Exactly. And this one, as I can see, this one it won. So I can literally, it's because like every time I win a trade, I leave that on my chart just for confirmation. And this one it worked the day before that. I know we about to come through a day that didn't work though. I can just feel it. I can just feel it. Oh well, this wasn't it. As I can see, no drawdown. You know what I mean? No drawdown. It's literally that simple. Hey, Roseanne, you good then? Yes, I'll see you, Trish. I'll see you.
You put up there.
This one was a loss. I did this because I was looking at something, but it was a loss. This one right here.
It's 3 o'clock our time.
But yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over to my brother Damo. Hey, Damo, you there?
Yeah. What's happening on this call?
All right. So if y'all don't have any more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over to him so he can take over. All right.
Oh.
Stop the recording mode.
Yeah, I'm about to stop recording right now. Let me find out how to do that. There you go. All right.